Hey, thanks for joining me again. I'm Paul, and the author of Eemians, which I hope you'll have a chance to read when we finally get it published. And as I've said, if you want a free copy of Eemians, just make sure you subscribe, and I'll let everybody know when those are available, and you can get yourself a free copy. I think you'll enjoy the book. Okay. Here's a great question. Why didn't the Eemians use the coal and oil reserves if they were actually modern industrial people? These took millions of years to form, and yet they didn't seem to use any because it's still around today. Well, I think that's a really good question. First off, we don't know how much there was 100,000 years ago. We can speculate. But if the Eemians, which is what I'm putting forward, used coal, oil, natural gas like we did, and their use of that over a several hundred-year period is the cause of that sudden rise in greenhouse gases and then the climate disaster that happened in the Eemian, which we know to have happened, that doesn't mean that there wouldn't be any left for us to start our own industrial revolution and do the same pattern that the Eemians did. It just means that there was certainly more than there is today. So we really don't know how much there was 100,000 years ago. We have core samples, we can speculate, but we really don't know. Moreover, there are lots of undiscovered oil and gas reserves already today. And there's another question in here that we'll cover next time about a natural gas reserve in the United States that is bigger than all the oil, gas, and coal that we have used since the beginning of the industrial age. I mean, a lot more. So there's plenty of oil, gas, and coal back then, now, and going forward. Our challenge is, of course, to try and get off that so that we don't have another climate disaster like what happened in the Eemian. And I think, part of the reason I wrote this book, I find it fascinating, the Eemians. I find our ancestors fascinating, and I don't accept the fact that these were just cave people running around doing whatever cave people do. I think there's a very likely possibility that there's been at least one, maybe more, modern societies that have come and gone over time. I mean, 2.5 million years that we've been around is a long time. And we have scanty evidence of various cultures and species. But what we do know is that the Eemians were just like us, physically, mentally, just like us. They are modern man. They are our ancestors. And so physically and mentally, they certainly had the capabilities. And we know that during the Eemian, they had the weather. These little patches, these 12,000-year patches of warmth where the glaciers go away and where the warmth comes out, the green comes out, everything thrives, man does really well. They come about every 100,000 years. And we know that 100,000 years ago, during the Eemian, it happened again. So we'll talk about this next time. Okay, long enough. Thanks for the question. Talk to you later. Bye.